Chosen one, be careful. It is no coincidence that I found you here today, because this writing is not for everyone. It is for those who feel that something has changed, but cannot yet put their finger on it. June 1st is not just a day on the calendar. It is a moment of energetic upheaval. It is ordinary for those who are asleep on their spiritual journey, but it is a sign for those who are awake. And if you're reading these lines right now, you're not ordinary. You are one of the chosen ones, because you're not just following the day, you're reading the energy. You hear the call within the silence. Today, the sky carries a high message, but it's not in words. The moon is moving into Leo, and we're in the heart of Purva Falguni. This nakshatra is not just a star field, it is the cosmic mirror that reminds the soul of its inner victory. Today, the universe is silently watching to see who is ready. The sky will not come shouting. This is not a test, but an invitation. But the difference between those who understand the invitation and those who miss it can be infinite. Because this portal does not recognize your past but your vibration. If you felt strange in the past few days, seen dreams you can't explain, or suddenly felt a familiar yet past emotion resurface, know that this portal has already marked you. This is not a warning, it is an echo, a remembrance from the depths of your soul. A path far older and far more sacred than the one you thought you knew is opening before you. And this path is visible only to those who embrace their inner silence. Today may seem like an ordinary day. Perhaps the sky is clear. Perhaps everything around you is routine. But that is precisely why today is significant. Because the most powerful transitions begin without fanfare. The universe is not testing you, it is calling you. And this call does not come through sound or sight. It comes through vibration, with a current whispering to your soul. If you feel it, you are already in it. Now take a deep breath, because this text will not tell you what to do. It will remind you of what you already know. If you feel in your heart that June 1st is not ordinary, then being here is not a choice, but a response. And now we will open this energy, this transition, and the cosmic alignment awaiting you together. Don't forget to like the video and write 777 in the comments. This number holds immense energy and will amplify your own. Also send the video to someone you love who you think needs to watch it right now. If you're ready, we're diving deeper now. Maybe you woke up today feeling off, like the air around you was holding its breath. You checked the time twice, dropped something you never drop, or caught yourself pausing for no reason at all. That wasn't just clumsiness or fatigue. That was energy syncing with something far larger than your conscious mind. Because today isn't just a new day, it's the aftershock of a cosmic decision your soul already made. You may have noticed little delays or perfect timing. A call just before you gave up. A message just when you were thinking of someone. That's not coincidence. That's alignment testing its reach. It's the universe checking if you're awake enough to respond to the cues. And if you've been seeing repeat numbers, animals acting strangely, or sudden waves of nostalgia, those are the breadcrumbs. The portal leaves signs, not explanations. Today, a subtle wave moved through the fabric of your timeline. It didn't come with noise. It arrived through patterns. A forgotten dream from childhood suddenly feels urgent. An old plan you gave up on now makes perfect sense. That strange desire to clean out your space, start something over, or just sit still. It's not boredom, it's activation. The kind that begins internally, not externally. When these portals crack open, they don't shout, they whisper through the mundane, through conversations that stick to your thoughts longer than they should, through glimpses of people you haven't seen in years, resurfacing with emotional weight, through silence that feels too loud. That is the universe's way of saying, pay attention. And if today you felt like something ended but can't name what, that's because it did. Timelines are like rivers, and sometimes one branch dries up while another begins to flow. You are not where you were yesterday, not energetically, not spiritually. You may still look the same, but your path recalibrated the moment you aligned with your own awareness. You might notice people falling away, quietly, without conflict. You might feel less drawn to spaces that once felt essential. That's not disconnection, that's redirection. What no longer matches your field can't anchor you anymore. And while this may feel like loss, it's actually liberation. You're not being left behind, you're being released forward. There's a strange calm that comes when the shift starts working. Not happiness, Not excitement, just quiet clarity. Like your body knows something before your mind catches up. Maybe your sleep has changed. Vivid dreams, waking at odd hours. A sense that something is watching over you. Not in fear but in guidance. This is what alignment feels like. It's not flashy, it's undeniable. What you do next isn't about strategy, it's about resonance. The opportunities lining up now will not wait for your fear to catch up. They respond to your frequency, not your effort. And if you feel unprepared, remember your soul has been preparing long before you became aware. You're not late, you're arriving exactly when you're meant to. Some around you will question your sudden clarity. Others will feel left out by your shift. That's okay. Not everyone was meant to walk through this part with you. And not every version of you can make it to where you're going. Leave behind what feels like a costume. Let go of what feels like an echo. This portal is not a classroom, it's a checkpoint. It's not asking what you've learned, it's checking what you've become. And here's the part no one tells you: the shift won't always feel magical. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's confusing, sometimes it feels like standing still. But beneath that stillness, roots are growing, codes are unlocking, and your timeline is adjusting. Not based on what you want, but on what you're finally ready for. So pause today, not because you're stuck, but because you're aligning. Listen, not for answers, but for signals. And move, not to escape, but to embody. Because what started today isn't random, it's a return to something ancient, something promised, and it knows your name. Some of you may be feeling it already. This unexplainable restlessness, not like anxiety, but like something ancient is stirring inside you. It doesn't scream, it hums. A low vibration that resonates not in your ears but in your chest. You pause mid-task, mid-sentence, and feel like you're forgetting something, but not something mundane, something cosmic. That sensation, that's not confusion, that's calibration. You're syncing with something your soul has waited lifetimes for. Maybe you noticed your thoughts looping around something seemingly irrelevant. An old song, a childhood toy, a book you never finished, but suddenly feel the urge to reread. These are not distractions, these are signals from your timeline, echoing forward, trying to reach you. This portal isn't about acceleration, it's about correction, realignment. You're not being asked to move faster, you're being asked to turn inward, to notice, to remember. And here's where it gets even more personal. The things that are coming up for you right now, they're not just reflections, they're reflections with purpose. Your energy is filtering through lifetimes of impressions, trying to pull out the few pieces you need to unlock what comes next. This is not nostalgia, this is recognition, the kind that causes a lump in your throat without reason, or tears that surface before your thoughts can justify them. There's a code being sent to you through subtlety, through the mundane, through your daydreams and half-thoughts. You might find yourself doodling a shape over and over, or saying a word that feels older than your language. Take note, write it down. These are not accidents, they're spiritual coordinates. Portals don't just transport you, they tag you. And once you're tagged, the path begins unfolding with more precision than you expect. Tonight, if your heart starts racing for no reason, if the wind feels like it's carrying words you can't hear, if a specific image won't leave your mind, listen. You're not imagining it, you're receiving. Some of you might even hear your name, but not the one everyone else calls you. The real one, the name your soul has always answered to, buried beneath layers of lifetimes and forgetting. That whisper, that's the call home. Most people will miss this. They'll call it overthinking, they'll distract themselves. But if you've read this far, you've already proven you're not most people. The transmission is live, and the veil is thinner than you think. Don't expect lightning bolts, expect echoes, expect synchronicities that feel like déjà vu, but are actually spiritual timestamps. Expect your reflection to feel foreign, as if you're finally seeing a version of yourself that's been hidden. And don't be surprised if your appetite shifts, if your body craves different foods or rhythms. The vessel adjusts as the soul downloads. This isn't drama, this is data. And here's the quiet truth no one teaches you. Not all awakenings are loud. Some arrive gently, in stillness, in soft realignments that make your reality feel slightly off-center until suddenly, one moment clicks, and everything you've been feeling makes perfect sense. That's how spiritual architecture works. Not with fireworks, but with foundations. If you feel a strange sense of loss today, like something invisible has left you, honor it. That was the shedding, the clearing, the energetic debris falling away. We often think we need to understand what we're releasing, but sometimes the release comes first. The clarity follows, and what you're stepping into now, it's not a new identity. It's an older version of you reclaiming its space. Your highest self isn't someone you become, it's someone you remember. And this portal is the mirror. It doesn't show you who you want to be, it shows you who you've always been, without the noise. So tonight, don't fill the silence, listen to it. Don't chase the answers, let them surface. Trust the odd feelings, the chills with no cold, the warmth with no sun. They're not random, they're proof that the portal touched you. And if the air feels charged, if the world feels heavier or lighter or just somehow different, good, it is. You are not watching the world change, you're inside the change. And when tomorrow comes, and everything looks the same but feels like a different planet, you'll understand. You didn't just cross through a portal, you remembered you are one. You might find yourself walking into familiar spaces that suddenly feel too small. Rooms where you once fit perfectly now echo. Conversations that used to engage you now feel hollow. It's not that the world has changed, it's that you have. You're no longer moving through life unnoticed. You're carrying something light, frequency, memory, and it's shifting the atmosphere around you in ways others can't explain but deeply feel. And yes, the reactions will be strange. Some people might grow unusually quiet when you speak. Others might interrupt you for no reason at all, almost like they're trying to break a current they can't sit with. Don't take it personally. They're responding to your frequency like a compass to a magnet. Pulled, repelled, confused. You've changed orbit, and their inner systems are still catching up. What no one tells you is that once you carry this frequency, you don't need to say anything for the message to be heard. Your presence is louder than your voice now, and some people, especially those who haven't met themselves yet, will feel deeply uncomfortable without knowing why. That's okay. That's natural. You're not here to be palatable. You're here to be real. You may notice people apologizing for things they never acknowledged before. Others might confess things out of nowhere, then seem confused by their own vulnerability. That's not weakness. That's your resonance making space for honesty. You've become a safe field where truth is magnetized even if it wasn't invited. This is the power of a soul in alignment. It becomes a mirror, and mirrors don't lie. If you felt isolated lately, know this isn't punishment, it's protection. The portal stripped away what no longer matched your field, not because you failed, but because you passed. And now your space is being cleared for what's coming next. Solitude at this level isn't loneliness, it's incubation. And here's the deeper layer most miss: this new charge you're holding. It has memory. It's not just energy, it's ancestral. It's encoded with the voices, battles, and victories of those who walked before you. When you stand in your truth, you don't just become powerful, you become remembered. And that remembrance stirs things, old promises, spiritual contracts, paths that were paused waiting for you to arrive. So if your instincts are sharper, if your dreams are louder, if you suddenly know something without knowing how you know it, that's the update integrating. That's your multidimensional self realigning. The parts of you that were once scattered across timelines are returning to the core. And that central version of you, the one who is calm without reason, focused without effort, whole without proof, that's the one this world has been waiting for. You may find animals watching you more closely, children staring at you like they recognize something ancient in your eyes. Nature will respond. The wind will move around you differently. Even your own reflection may startle you at times. Not because you look different, but because you feel like more. That's not ego, that's expansion. Your job now isn't to convince anyone of your growth, it's to honor it. It's to protect this new alignment the way you would protect a sacred fire. And that means becoming extremely selective with your time, your words, and your energy. Not from fear, but from clarity. Because not everyone deserves access to your frequency, and that's not arrogance, that's stewardship. Pay attention to the random impulses over the next few days. The urge to go somewhere you haven't been in years. The desire to clean a specific drawer, to throw away a certain object, to wear a color you never choose. These are not accidents. They're recalibrations. Your field is communicating with your environment in real time. Let it. Follow the subtle. That's where the magic lives now. You may be tempted to downplay this shift, to call it coincidence, or to hide it because no one else seems to feel it. Don't. This portal wasn't designed for the many. It was for the ones who listened. And if you're here, you did. You heard the whisper in the silence. You recognized the feeling behind the ordinary. You moved when no one told you to. That's why your reality is no longer reacting to logic. It's responding to resonance. And the more you honor this shift, the more confirmation you'll receive. Not always in big dramatic signs, but in subtle alignments. The right message at the right time. The solution before the problem. The open path where there was once a wall. These are not rewards. They're reflections. They're your frequency meeting the field and reshaping it. Some people will question how you've changed so much in so little time. Let them. The truth is, this change has been happening quietly inside you for a long time. This portal just gave it permission to arrive. And now that it has, your job is simple. Stay in your alignment. Protect your peace. And remember, you didn't just walk through something. Something walked through you. Because the portal didn't mark time, it marked you. June 7th isn't just a date, it's a return pulse, a check-in. It asks not what you felt on May 31st, but what you did with it. Most people experience moments of clarity and let them fade like dreams. They wake up and shrug it off, but the portal doesn't forget. It circles back, it watches, and when it returns, it doesn't knock louder, it knocks softer. Because it expects that the ones who heard it the first time are now listening more closely. This isn't pressure, it's precision. 7 days, that's the breath between worlds. That's the sacred pause between being shown a truth and being asked to walk in it. Not everyone will. Many will get distracted again. They'll call that moment at the end of May weird, emotional, or just tired. They'll never realize it was a threshold. But you, if you still feel it flickering inside, if your body remembers the frequency even when your mind is busy, that's the signal. It hasn't left you, it's integrating. Between now and June 7th, you may notice time moving in strange ways. Things that usually take effort might slide into place. People who once drained you may suddenly feel far away, even if they're still physically present. Your body might crave more silence. Your senses might become sharper. These are all signs that the portal wasn't just a moment. It was a calibration. You were tuned. And now the world around you is adjusting to that tuning. So here's what most people will miss. The next 7 days are a spiritual echo chamber. Everything you do, say, believe, hold on to, or let go of is amplified. Not as a test, but as a blueprint. The energy is listening. It's watching how you shape your new self in the small, quiet choices. Not the big declarations. Not the public changes. The private ones. The ones that happen when no one is watching. Do you go back to the same habits? Do you text the person your spirit already said goodbye to? Do you downplay what you felt last week and try to blend back in? Or do you stay anchored in the shift, even when it's subtle, even when it's hard to explain? June 7th is the mirror. It doesn't show you what you wish to see. It shows you what you've become. The version of you that kept the flame alive, or the one that let it dim quietly. No punishment. Just reflection. The universe is not judging you, it's tracking you. You may start to see repeating numbers again, different ones this time. 711, 222, 1919. You may dream of symbols, keys, doors, spirals, unfinished staircases. You might even hear a name in a dream you've never heard before, and yet somehow know. These aren't puzzles, they're coordinates. And the question isn't, what do they mean? The question is, where do they lead you? Because energy like this doesn't just touch you and vanish. It weaves, it lingers, it evolves, it circles back. And on June 7th it will knock again, but it will sound different. Not like May, not like the threshold. It won't ask you to notice it this time. It will ask you to live it. So what does that mean in practical terms? It means the days between now and then are sacred. Choose your thoughts like seeds. Speak as if the wind is listening. Move like you're shaping space, because you are. There is no neutral energy right now. Everything is contributing to the story that shows up on June 7th. If May 31st was the spell, June 7th is the proof. Don't be surprised if something important is asked of you around that date. An offer, a question, an opportunity, something that seems oddly timed, but energetically perfect. And when it arrives, your only job is to be who you already became during the portal. Don't shrink back into the old name. Don't doubt what you knew in the stillness. Don't ask for another sign. You've already been marked. And yes, there will be distractions. That's the echo too. Old temptations, familiar patterns, people resurfacing, not because the past wants you, but because the portal stirred your field and now the past feels it. Let them come, let them talk, let them knock, but don't let them back in if they were part of a version of you that no longer exists. This is the subtle art of choosing your frequency. Don't speak your new truth just for validation. Live it until the world mirrors it. Don't wait for people to recognize your change. Make it impossible to ignore. The next timeline doesn't arrive with applause. It arrives in whispers, in weird coincidences, in random moments when you suddenly feel like everything makes sense for no reason at all. That's the timeline locating you. June 7th is not random. It's an echo checkpoint, a sacred reverberation designed to see what remained in you after the silence settled. It doesn't ask if you remembered. It asks if you transformed. Not through noise, not through proof, through presence. You may forget this feeling in the coming days. Life will try to wrap itself around you again. Emails, routines, plans that feel too loud for what's been awakened within. But watch how the universe responds if you pause long enough to remember. Because June 7th doesn't come like lightning. It returns like a whisper you thought you imagined. A dream you nearly forgot. And then something odd happens. A number repeats, louder than before. A face reappears in your life without warning. A sentence spoken by a stranger sounds like it came from your own mind. An opportunity unfolds in a way that feels too seamless, too precise to be strategy. That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. That is how the portal checks if you didn't just pass through it, but if you absorbed it. You weren't chosen to find this energy. The energy was summoned by your light. And now that you've activated it, it follows you, not as a burden, but as a magnetic imprint that touches every space you enter. That's why strangers look twice. That's why old friends feel distance they can't name. That's why certain things fall apart quietly around you. Not because you're cursed, but because you no longer resonate with what was built on frequencies you've outgrown. You're not here to chase signs anymore. You are the sign. You're not following the path. You've become the pulse that creates it. So when June 7th arrives and something subtle but unshakable clicks into place, don't doubt it. Don't explain it away. Don't ask for another signal. That is the signal. It might be something small, a conversation that shifts your inner compass, a phrase that won't leave your mind, a project that moves without effort, a vision you suddenly see clearly. And yes, it might even feel like nothing, like a gentle breath through your life. But that stillness is the power. That silence is the proof. That ease is the reward. Because alignment doesn't shout, it whispers. And now, because you've carried the frequency past the threshold, the universe mirrors it. Opportunities will start circling you, not because you reached for them, but because they recognize you. The version of you that now holds space effortlessly. The version that doesn't explain or perform, only embodies. The version that became the portal others pass through without ever knowing why they feel different around you. This is your energetic echo. You've stepped into a resonance so deep that it bends timelines. The choices you make from this space won't feel like effort. They'll feel like inevitability. That is the new rhythm. That is the new way. So when people look at you with questions in their eyes, don't rush to answer. Let the silence speak. Let the field you now carry do the explaining. And when June 7th unfolds like a gentle rewind of May 31st, an echo made visible, smile. Because you'll know, you didn't just pass the test, you became the proof. So now the question isn't what happens next. The question is, who do you become now that you've remembered? Don't rush to answer. Don't force the unfolding, just hold the frequency. Let June unfold around you, not through you. Let your energy be the invitation. Let your silence be the gate. You are not walking towards something anymore. You are walking as something now, a living reminder, a quiet frequency, a soul that didn't forget. This is not the end of a portal. It's the beginning of your presence. And the universe is already responding.